Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 2. In the last episode, we saw humanity spark from Red Team, going into the Horn of Africa, Iraq and Iran, Georgia/Armenia area, and Greece. Last episode, I said that Red was getting a little jealous of Green and their nice, fertile Mesopotamian lands. This jealousy may turn into our first conflicts, but first, let me talk about the map. The map is looking awfully gray and a little bit more complicated. As you can see, some parts are white, some parts are gray. What does this mean? The gray parts are unexplored, and the white parts are explored. We also have provinces. It's kind of self-explanatory. It's kind of like the American states, or I guess counties. And each country will have their own provinces, and it will look really, really good eventually because it helps us with war. Speaking of war, we see Red attack. They quickly go in and grab this province here and capture this major city, and are already threatening Green's capital. You guys could have put this in any other city, yet you put it right here. I mean, if Red hadn't have gone to war with them, this would have been great, but Red's gone to war with them. As you can see, Red attacking them in a little bit of a brighter color. That is just so you can see the borders. Now, obviously, there's no really war strategy. This is the first ever war. I wouldn't even call this a war. This is just a conflict. They want these lands here. But they go around the coast and siege the capital, but then capture it. And then they dash over here as fast as they can to try and block off Green and cut them in two. Now, the thing about Green is every single major city that they have has the ability to become their capital. These are their original cities. They've been built upon and they've been here for many years. And these are their Mesopotamian cities. They're very strong, fertile, and they're really great lands. So Green is able to put up a good fight. And a fight Green will put up. They quickly go in through the water and attack Red, capturing their capital as fast as Red captured theirs. They sprint down here and grab this major city before getting a little bit of backlash from Red. Red decides to use this as an opportunity to go across the water. They land in this major city here and capture it and then expand down the coast just a bit. They also were able to push back in here and split these armies in two, capturing this major city back. But these guys, they are easily supplied by Green, and they're obviously putting up a really good fight. Back over here in Green's capital, we see Green do a little bit of work on the front lines here. It's not going to be too useful, but it is a bit of work. Red, however, goes up here and gets this major city and makes this line here thicker. They also wrap around this a little bit and encircle some soldiers here. I'm not sure how many there are here. Probably like 1,000, maybe 10,000, something like that. But they're all killed. And next up, Red will go for this major city. This one is a bit of a fight here. They have to go around these little armies here, and it's very hard, and they are kind of challenged here. In the meantime, they will send soldiers up this way to go to this major city already. They do capture this one because these guys are working over here, and they decide that this is a good way for them to just send a bit of a diversion to go behind the city. And this diversion really, really works. This is what gets this major city captured, and there's a lot of people in this little green area. So this is a lot of the population of the army. They make their line here thicker, and we see them get pushed further down here. Red will pull their front out from here, giving Green this land back, and Green will continue to try and forge a little bit further forward, but it will be unsuccessful as Red actually captures about half of their capital back. As you can see, this is about half of the capital. They go through here and get rid of these guys and eventually just fully reclaim their capital. Stepping away from this conflict a little bit, we go over to Orange and look at these provinces. They have too many major cities and not enough of a population to handle all of that. These guys are about to collapse. And when I say collapse, I mean collapse. As we can see, Orange is split into 4 different countries: lime, maroon, orange, and pink. The most strong out of all of these, I will not tell you. However, I will tell you the weakest. Orange. Lime is the smallest, followed by Pink did get the most stable lands and Orange's previous capital. Orange's capital went up here. And regarding limes and maroons, they are right here and right here. There will be some more exploration down into here. And people inside of the Arabian Desert have made it much further than they ever have. Heading back over to Red, we can see that Red and Green are not the only countries in this war. Pink joins. These guys are the most stable, and they are really needing some better, fertiler lands, aka Mesopotamia. They send 2 spearheads down towards green, which after only just a little bit of time reach green and their borders. Once reaching the borders and scouting a little bit to see how many troops they are facing, they bring the rest of their army. Obviously not the rest of their army, there's still some people here to defend, but most of their offensive army is here. They're going to go down here quickly and grab this major city, and remember, this was the western spearhead, and the eastern spearhead will go down the side here, just so that way they can grab this major city. Now here's the problem. Green has no more major cities in the Mesopotamian area, and if they wanted to get troops there, they're going to have to go around red troops, which are already here guarding this area, so it is practically impossible for them to get troops into this area, unless you go through unknown territory. Green sends a lot of troops down into these uncharted territories to go chart them out and just get them into an area that they are going to be useful. They're going to quickly spear around here, and this is a really, really long spearhead, as you can see. However, the only problem with them being here is, well, it's uncharted territories. So that means that this will happen. Green has no idea what's happening here, so people are going around in circles, breaking away to try and figure out where they went because, well, something happened here because they got lost, and then there are people here, here, all around this area now, and none of them know where to go. These guys here, these two, they have the correct trajectory. However, only one of them will end up going the correct way. The only problem is lots of them are dying out because there's no food. So their army is just depleting in size. But hey, at least now they have an army. They go into these pink army here and immediately get fully wiped out. And the rest of these troops here also all get wiped out. Not all of them are wiped out. Some of them do end up finding each other. I'm going to say, like, right here is where they all found each other. And, well, they kind of just all came back eventually after long amounts of time was put together to find search parties. And after this, they kind of just all went back, going down this southern-ish route. Pink continues their attacks, eventually encircling all of these troops. This isn't a true encirclement. It's just like they were going here, and now all of these troops are dead. You may or may not have noticed that these guys are kind of aiming to destroy these trade routes, or at least take control over them. It creates an easy pathway to get to the next city. Pink will follow down here to get through this trade route, and red will actually cooperate with them and figure out what they're trying to do. Meet in the center. Now green is split into 3 different pieces. After red quickly sweeps through here, pink does the same. Green surrenders. Let's take one last look at these borders here, and now let's look at the peace treaty. This is what the new map looks like. As you can see, pink and red pretty much evenly divided the Mesopotamian lands. Pink obviously got less because if they grabbed too much, they would likely fall apart, and also red did a little bit more than them. Red did have military claims all the way down to here. However, they didn't want anything past the Mesopotamian lands right here. So they let green keep this. Green takes their capital, which was originally here, and moves it back to where it used to be. And this is scary. This year, this is not good. You may have noticed that pink doesn't have connected lands, and they are about to change that. Pink is now looking a little bit more connected, and with all of this new land, it means a lot of new major cities. And pink adds all of these new major cities, and these ones aren't really that strong yet. However, they will grow to be very prosperous because, well, look at these locations. Like, this is great. Moving into Europe, purple is going to start working on exploring and expanding. Pink expands a lot. They really only stop once they hear what happened to orange. And to prevent this from happening to them, they get a new country to form above them. Also, just quick little by the way, I have already recorded this episode fully. I've also already fully recorded episode 3, but these files were lost and corrupted, sadly. So yes, most of this is already done, which is why it looks a little bit weird over here in this region with these undrawn providences, weird borders, non-explored areas, and yeah, it'll all make sense soon. These are the providences and exploration rates. As you can see over here, there's a big gray hole. This is the Alps. Otherwise, Cyan was actually created very stably. They have a very good land. And major city-wise, whoa, that's a lot of new major cities. However, these are all done very wisely. Both Cyan and Purple are aware of what happened to Orange, and they're both working to prevent that. So they built these with that in mind. We can see a lot further exploration into the Arabian Desert. And actually, this is on the northern side this time. And they explore down the coast here, leaving only this small area in the center left to explore. And trade routes wise, over the entire episode, all of this was created. Whoa. Alright, let's talk about this. Purple and Cyan worked together to create almost a highway system throughout their countries. We see a connection through northern Turkey to the Orange descendants where it connects all throughout here. In pink, they kind of pass over these major cities here. However, it's not that bad. We see a lot of new water highways between green and red after the war ended. Red and green's capitals are looking very, very good trade-wise. People are getting a little bit more comfortable going through these Saudi Arabian areas, and blue has officially finished up their trade routes. Over here in the red and blue region, we see a lot of the trade route is actually not inside of their region. Maybe in the next episode, we see them expand out to here, or maybe in the episode after that, or after that. We'll never know. Also, regarding the Lost Soldiers, I removed their exploration here because no one else besides them knew about it. They didn't even get to report back to these guys in green because they were immediately shipped back up here. Today, we've seen our first conflicts, major exploration and expansion, a nation fall apart, further exploration to the Saudi Arabian desert, which is actually very, very important, and further exploration into Europe. That was really needed. In the next episode, we might see some civilizations form in Europe. We might see some wars. We might see blue do something. We might see people go further and further into Asia. If we see a civilization formed in Portugal, maybe Christopher Columbus is born. Nah, I'm kidding. But we are going to end the episode off here. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down any ideas that you have. I'm probably going to implement them. Since it's time to conclude the episode, I'm going to say my thank yous. Thank you, the viewer. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. And until next time, see ya.